Hi, friends. So, in a bit of an attempt to, read a little bit more classics, slash, this has been something I've been trying to do for a while now, decided to read kind of three, let's say, gothic classics this fall and just kind of use them to get us really, really into this fall spirit. So the three we're going to be reading in this video are Carmilla, which is, I believe, the inspiration for the novel Dracula, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which I've heard so many people say is like a fantastic gothic book, and then the Portrait of Dorian Gray, which I have never really been super curious about, but why not? Let's try to diversify our reading a little bit, and by that I fully just mean I don't read classics, so we're gonna try. So basically, this is just me trying to get as much into the spooky mood as possible, and why not? Why not just try and read some of the really, really classic gothic books that kind of inspired the genre. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Kat. I love to talk about books, and I am really, really excited for spooky season this year. So I can quickly say I have started Carmilla, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised to realize that this is actually a novella, and I think it's only about 98 pages. So very, very happy to kind of realize that. And, it's definitely going to make this much faster to read, because one of my biggest fears when I was starting off this video is that every book would end up taking me like weeks and weeks and weeks to finish. So it's kind of nice to realize that perhaps they might not be that long, but so far not a lot has happened in this one. And that actually could fully just be me not understanding / not having the reading comprehension required to understand what's going on. But essentially we're just following Carmilla, I think. I'm actually not sure if we've learned our main character's name, but we learned a few things about her. She recalled an instance when she was in bed, a stranger came in and seems like may have bitten her. And now we are many years later, and she seems to have just gotten in a bad carriage accident, and I think a few people died. So not a lot has happened, but I am curious. The writing style is very beautiful, like very, very beautiful. And that is one really great thing always I find about classics, is that writing is beautiful, sometimes just a little difficult to understand. And somebody who enjoys reading, but maybe is not the most critical of readers at times, it can be difficult. Like, I am definitely not somebody who can very easily understand like difficult classics. Like, I have never once in my life attempted a Tolstoy. Maybe one day we'll start getting into the Russian classics, but that is not for today. So I'm going to keep on reading this. I really don't anticipate that it's going to take too long, which I'm excited about. And really curious to see if I can see any parallels between this and Dracula, aside from the obvious vampiric nature of the story. And I am going to be reading, I don't know if that video is up, but I'm rereading Dracula at the moment as well. So it's going to be very interesting to kind of compare the two. I'm a little bit further into Carmilla, and so I have a better sense of what's happening right now, and I was kind of wrong in some ways. Our main character is not Carmilla. She is in fact a young noble woman named Laura, and her family comes across this carriage accident, I believe, and one of the people who was involved is a beautiful young girl named Carmilla, and she ends up being taken in by this family for a few months while I think her guardian is off doing something, and she and Laura very quickly become entangled with each other and very, very close friends, and Carmilla just becomes very dear to the family. And at the same time, it seems like there are some mysterious happenings around the world, or around the manor, I guess. So there's reports of some people have died for some mysterious reasons, and our main character, she seems to keep having dreams of somebody coming into her room and piercing her neck, and she doesn't understand what's going on, but she keeps thinking that somebody's in her room and somebody's coming to her at night. So, just weird things are happening. Carmilla is a very, very mysterious figure, and we really don't know a lot about her. And also, people seem to not really be questioning that much, or just accepting the very, very little that she tells them. But again, very short book, very, very short, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, we're just learning a little bit more here and there, and it is working. This little crumbles that we're starting to realize about it. It's interesting to me for sure. I have to say, Carmilla was fantastic for what it was. For just being this short little novel, like, I guess, novella that's like 90 pages and really not anything that's like delving too deep into many things. It was pretty fantastic. And I absolutely see that inspiration for Dracula behind this. And just really, really kind of starting this creepy vampire vibe and aesthetic. And I really enjoyed it. I really, really did enjoy it. It had like a lot of like creepy little aspects in it, like just little sprinklings of, just like little sprinklings of, something is happening, something's a little weird. There's like a little bit of an unsettling thing happening in the background. And that was fantastic. And then I loved seeing the relationship between our main character, Laura, or actually our narrator, Laura, and Carmilla, which it was, I don't know why I found it so shocking that it was sapphic. Like in my mind, like I've read A Dowry of Blood, I've read, what's the other one that S.T. Gibson did? An Education in Malice, which are kind of like Carmilla retellings. And I knew those ones are obviously sapphic, but in my mind, I was like, no, this is published in like 1800s. I was like, no, there's no way it could be. But yeah, very, very happy to see that was an element of this. And yeah, I deeply, deeply enjoyed this. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was just a really, really fun edition to be reading, and I'm really, really happy that I actually picked it up finally. Kind of reminds me too, like I always think that I hate classics. I mean, I don't know if I'd say I hate them. I always feel like I'm not smart enough to understand a classic, but this is just a good reminder that like they can really, really work for me. And if I actually give them the time of day, it can be a very good thing for me. So this was a huge win, and I'm ridiculously happy about it. I don't know why I was kind of coming into this video not expecting to enjoy anything. Like I was really, really hopeful that some of these books would work for me and that some of these things would be like ones that I come out really enjoying. But also in my head, I was kind of like, they're classics. If we hate everything, it is not the end of the world. We'll just have to deal with that and the video will be what it is. But I am so ridiculously happy to say that I am loving Rebecca. And I definitely see how this is such a popular book to this date even. Just really, really interesting. And I feel like there is a mystery about to be unraveled that is just captivating me. So we have our main character who meets a man while on vacation, and he kind of like woos her very quickly, and they very quickly fall in love. And she learns that he had a wife named Rebecca who recently passed away, I think like 8 months beforehand. And he said to be incredibly devastated by it. And she kind of goes into this marriage expecting that she will never live up to Rebecca, but she is so in love with this man that she's going to go for it. And he is this rich man. She is, I think, more of a working class woman. And a lot of people in gossip in society feel like he is just trying to very quickly marry somebody to move on. But also, Rebecca seems to have died under mysterious circumstances, perhaps. She drowned at sea, and it seems like there was many, many secrets about her. I don't know. I'm just really deeply enjoying it. Something about this maybe is giving me like Jane Eyre vibes. I don't know if that is an apt comparison yet, though to be fair, Jane Eyre was significantly longer, and I did find the romance portion of that one to be very, very short. Yeah, just something about this mysterious dead wife and a man who is trying to move on with her with a new young woman. I guess that part, I guess, is very Jane Eyre-esque. But I'm really, really interested because you can tell that there is some kind of secret that's going to be unraveled and something that is beneath the surface that we have not seen, and something that is going to perhaps be devastating for our main character to find out. I'm really, really interested and really, really curious to kind of see where this goes. The writing itself is honestly kind of beautiful. I do have to say that. Like, it's haunting. It's captivating. I'm just really, really, really into it so far. And I completely understand why this is such a popular book. Yeah, it's going great. If this is going to end up being another win after Carmilla, I'm going to feel so fantastic and really just really, really happy how this is kind of going for me. So yay, this is awesome. I feel wonderful. I am very happy. And yeah, I'm going to go finish this off. Okay, I am done, Rebecca, and really deeply enjoyed this one. Kind of didn't see the twist on this one coming. I really thought it was me going in a different way. So it was very pleasantly surprised with a bit of how this twist went and like delving more into learning about these characters and everything. I just really enjoyed this. I think that this was a fantastic gothic novel and just really good overall. One of my favorite classics that I think I've ever read potentially. My all-time favorite is Gone with the Wind, and this actually might go up there because I don't necessarily like, I like Austen, but I don't necessarily love the more classical romances. I like having more classic with a bit of darkness into it, I guess we could say. And yeah, this one kind of worked perfectly for that. So I'm incredibly happy. Yeah, so thrilled at how much I enjoyed this one. It was very addicting too, I have to say. And I just like kept being like enthralled to see what was going to happen next. So really happy with that. And now we have started The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I will say is, I like the writing, but I don't know if I like the story, if that makes sense. And I think this is something that I might explore a little bit more, but I think I prefer classical novels by women. And just if we're looking at the first two, actually no, Carmilla was not by a woman. I don't think so. I do think in general I prefer classical novels written by women. And I think this is something I am going to try and explore a little bit more, because I was kind of just feeling just something about the vibe of the way that this one is happening and just the way characters are written. I'm not enjoying it as much. Like, writing is beautiful, and I think there's some really interesting like thoughts. Especially there's this one thought on growing old, and this portrait that was done is kind of going to forever stay the same age, while the Dorian Gray, the person who the portrait is done of, will grow older. And I really enjoyed that entire sequence and a lot of that. But the story itself, like, I'm not necessarily enjoying following the men and just some of what is happening. So I'm having mixed feelings on this one. Like, I think it could be very beautiful, but also like maybe not necessarily for me. I do note though that there is an adaptation of this one with I think Ben Barnes in it, and I definitely want to watch that. I really like him as an actor, and I think that could be something that I really enjoy. So I think I'm going to definitely try to pick that up sometime soon. Probably like actually as soon as I'm done reading this book, I might as well just jump into it. But I'm going to keep going on. I'm like 30% in right now, and yeah, like enjoying it, but not addicted or enthralled by the story, I guess. I'm now about 50% into The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I will say I'm still not loving the writing quite as much. I mean, like what I was saying earlier, the writing's beautiful, but I'm not as captivated by it as I kind of thought I'd be. But at the same time, I am getting into this story for sure. There are some interesting like slightly magical type of things happening, and it is really interesting to follow. And I do have to say, I am finding the character of Dorian Gray incredibly interesting too, and to see kind of this journey he's going on of realizing certain things and realizing what this portrait means to him and the way that he therefore can act. Oh, it is interesting. Like, I am really enjoying that. Like, I do find, I guess, the minutiae detail kind of ebbs and flows, and like my interest is captivated for a little bit, and then I'm kind of like out of it for a little bit. There's like a lot of conversations with people around him that I'm not necessarily that into, but a lot of what this portrait means to Dorian and how he is then acting, I am loving that. So overall, I'm actually getting very deeply interested in this, which I kind of didn't expect it just based on the beginning. I thought I'd be a little bored, but it's getting very interesting. Hello! So I finished the final book, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I do have to say, so first of all, I'll say I did enjoy this one, but significantly less than the other two I read. And I really don't know what it is, but just something about this one did not hit in quite the same way. And I'm really kind of wondering if I just prefer female authors for classics. I wonder if that is it. And also, I think I was going to say the only one with a supernatural element, but obviously Carmilla with vampires in it. That is clearly supernatural as well. So like that wasn't it. I just don't know what this one was. Like, I mean, why I liked it a bit less. Like, also had very beautiful writing. I thought that some of the musings that we got from our main character and from just the narrator in general were so good. Yeah, just something about the story didn't captivate my interest in quite the same way. But I am going to say, like, that being said, this was fantastic, and I really did enjoy this one. It's just more of like a 3.5 star instead of the 4 stars that the other two books were. And yeah, like this fantastic. So, so good. This video in general, so, so good. I am so incredibly pleased just knowing how many books I enjoyed on this. Like, I enjoyed all three of them. When is the last time that has ever happened to me where I'm coming out and having enjoyed every single thing I read? And I will say too, for Picture of Dorian Gray, it felt like we were really exploring the descent into madness of a man slash the giving into instincts and deciding to leave away any morality and kind of just seeing like, you know, what effect that has on a man. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed Rebecca. Really enjoyed Camilla. We just had a great time today, friends. And now that we've read all three of these books, we're just going to end this off here. Really, really happy with this. Also, I want to know, like, do you have any recommendations for classics I should check out? Because I don't know, I'm like, think I'm in a new era where I just want to read a ton. I want to really, really get like more into classic literature and really expand my horizons a bit. So leave me down below if you have any recs. I am really, really curious. But thanks for watching today's video. Really appreciate you if you're here to the end. Would love if you'd like and subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you in a video very, very soon.